yogurt, parfait, Pop-Tart, bagel, fruit juice, applesauce, or milk. Lunch Friday, cheddar French dip, or PBJ sandwich combo. Chef salad with goldfish, or chicken Caesar salad with goldfish. Seasoned green beans, baby carrots with ranch, fruit, and milk. Also, make sure you check out the Lost and Found table in front of the office. We will be getting rid of those tomorrow. So if you have lost anything, there's coats, there's shoes, there's all kinds of things on there. Um, so that's it. Have a good day.
Hey, hi. Good morning. What's happening? We're back. We made it. One day. One day. Any questions about anything before we get started? Anything like, oh man, I wish I knew this. I need to know that. Any of that stuff? Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I already opened up Google Classroom. We were gonna head there anyway. Here's the code, and you need that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just check the camera. What's that? No one's watching. Hey, let's put you guys over here. I'm gonna move you back there. Is that cool, guys? All right. Good to see you guys. We're just logging on to Google Classroom. Okay, cool. So you got it? You're in?
Yep.
Hey, you're in? You're in? Cool. If you you're not in? Okay, yeah. Join. If you didn't join yesterday, join me now. That would be awesome. Adia, is it Adia? Adia, sorry. Adia. Isn't there a song?
Sarah McLachlan.
Yes. Is that really? Oh man, I saw Sarah McLachlan in concert. She was great. Whatever happened to her, man? She's like not like put out a new album in like years. Huh. Adia. That's a great song. Okay. All right. So, hey, if you could click on just the course guidelines. Here's my plan for today. I want to go over just some of these rules and regulations just a little bit, and then we'll see how far we get after that. I just got to tell you, I'm a pretty laid back guy. I love teaching. I love teaching high school students. I've taught college students before. And so, I have these rules, and I'm going to go over the rules, but, for the most part, like over the past 20 years or 27 years, I've written up maybe like a handful of people, not that many, okay? Doesn't, I want to have fun, but I also want to respect each other. And so let's just go over a few of these things together. Biology 1 provides students with the study of the structure and functions of living organisms, their interactions with the environment, the roles of organisms within populations, communities, and ecosystems are studied. Through labs and field investigations, study explores the process of cell respiration, inheritance, natural selection, and evolution. So basically, our class, and by the way, you might do some flip-flopping at the semester. I don't know if if you have me for second semester. Okay, some people will go to Greta's class next semester, and some of her students will come here. I'd like to keep you all, if that's at all possible. But sometimes that's how the schedule goes. And so we try to stay as close together as possible. So what we're going to be dealing with is kind of environmental ecology stuff first. That's kind of our first go-to. And then we'll spend about 9 weeks on that. Then after that, then we go into some cell stuff. And hopefully all of you have at least heard of some of the cell parts, like the nucleus and the mitochondria. Just kind of ringing a bell. Plasma membrane, cytoplasm, all that stuff. We'll go a little bit deeper. Okay, I'm gonna hopefully teach you the answer to this question: why do we eat food? Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question 1,000 times. Why do we eat food? Okay, so I want you to think of what right now. Just think in your head what the answer is to that question. I'm not going to tell you the answer today, but why do we eat food? We're going to spend like pretty much like 6 weeks on why we eat food. Okay, and then second semester is pretty cool. Then we get into DNA and we get into genetic stuff, and hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay, I'm going to give every single one of you a little tube with some flies in it, and you're going to watch fruit flies mate. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you're going to watch them. Okay, and then they're going to make babies, and you are going to count those babies. Yeah. And guess, and not just like fly babies are not like just like 1 or 2 babies. Fly babies have like hundreds of babies. So congratulations everybody. Second semester, you're gonna be a parent. And here's the exciting thing about that is if you keep them alive, good job. You pretty much get an A. If you kill them all, you flunk. Oh.
What if I record a video of putting on
What's that?
Would that count as an eight?
What? Tell me what?
If I recorded a video of putting me through all really dumb stuff, would that count as an eight?
Like your pup, like your dog, or your dog,
I don't know.
or your dog was like dressed as a turtle, right? Can I show that video someday? Okay, sorry. It's long. Yeah.
What?
Can I write that down? Not only do I have to be a parent, I have to be a good one. I have a quote book, and you're going in it because that was phenomenal. How do you spell your name? Here's the cool thing about the flies too. Some of your flies are gonna have red eyes, and some of your flies are gonna have white eyes. White eyes. Okay. So what's that? They're equal, man.
Wow.
They're totally equal. Except for there's one thing that's not equal about them. Well, eye color, right? But there's a reason why they have white eyes. Night vision. Right? I like night eyes. Night eyes. There's a song called Fly's Eyes. Have you ever heard that song?
Yeah.
It's by a guy named Haywood Penns, and he wrote a song called Toast. Anybody ever heard the Toast song? I'll find it for you at some point. We'll play it, definitely for sure. So that's like going to be like in like January. And by the way, I've been keeping these flies alive at my house all summer long. So like I've been breeding them since March. March 13th, I took all the flies home, and they've been sitting on my windowsill at my house. If I give them to you dead, oh no, I don't want to give them to you. They'll be very much alive. What's that? I'm a fly breeder. I'm a fly breeder, man. So that's the genetics part, and then the last part we're going to talk about natural selection, and that's a really fun thing, and how things change over time. So that's kind of. Oops, what's in the door? Hi, you're here. Hi, great. Thank you. Be fun. Absolutely. All right. So you kind of have a book. If you're a book person, hold on a second. Also, help me out. I'm doing so good. I'm doing good so far, but there have been moments that like I start to walk past this imaginary line here while my mask is at my throat. So if you see me like cross this line right here, be like, no, stop. No, okay. Yeah. I'll show you back here. I have this cabinet. These are textbooks. Okay, if you want one, okay, I'll be happy to let you borrow one if you were a textbook person. Okay, but I have scanned everything that you will need into PDFs. I'll just put them on the flash. Okay, but if you're like, no, I hate reading on my computer. I want a book. I have more than plenty, and I'd be happy to let you borrow one. Just let me know. All right, so here's kind of the breakdown. It's pretty much standard stuff. We got homework from the textbook, of course, tests, some pop quizzes every once in a while. Okay, a research paper project that's over the fruit flies. And participation is key too, especially for you online folks. And we'll talk later about this book report. Okay, of course, there's the standard grading scale. Okay, so how about the guidelines? Here we go. Just use common sense. Okay, we're still working out things in the lab. Okay, when we may be doing labs up here. Okay, we may be doing labs at our desk. Greta and I keep talking about what we're going to do. Okay, I don't know, but use common sense, right? If we're cutting something, don't stab, somebody next to you with a knife, right? Okay, please, I would appreciate that. Okay, if we could get through the year without blood, that would be awesome. Okay, soon you guys are going to be working with some dead animals. Okay, right? And yeah.
Will we get to dissect anything?
Okay, great question. So possibly, we're still working on that too. There's a very strong possibility. I know because last year, Underwood usually dissects the worm, and I think the clam, and you guys, of course, get to do that. So we'll see what we can do on that. If anybody is ever, well, we'll talk more about that later. Okay, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if it's a pig, I'm okay with it. If it's anything else, I'm not, because I work at a pig farm.
Oh yeah.
So I was there for 2 weeks of the summer because my dad's work all got COVID except my dad.
Oh man.
So I had to work there for 2 weeks straight. And I
Oh,
was
man.
working 13 to 15-hour days.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, Peyton. That's awesome, dude. Do you want to see one of the dead animals that you're going to be working with? Hold on. It's in my hand. Okay. Yeah. Great guess. Great guess. It's this little guy. Anybody know what this is? This is a ruby-throated hummingbird. Okay. Right. Okay. We're not dissecting them, but we're going to do some measurements with on these guys. Not just the hummingbird, but I have a freezer full of dead birds.
That sounds like fun.
If
We like birds.
I love them, okay? So I didn't kill any of these birds, okay? Right? How did I get them? Okay, unfortunately, two things happen often to birds, okay? And one of them is cars and the other is buildings. How do buildings kill birds? Windows, right? So hummingbirds like, oh, I see a mate. Let's go out. All right. Okay. So I have. By the way, it's illegal for you to keep this in your freezer, okay, because of the Migratory Bird Act of 1942. But I can because it's an educational institution. Okay. So we're going to be learning about birds, and you're going to do some measurements, and you will all get a bird. You might have to share a couple, but we'll figure this out. Can you name your bird? Sure. Yeah. Right. It is sad, right? There's some pretty cool birds.
Yes.
All right. A bunch. I'll show you. They're cool. All right. Okay, come back to me. All right. So I know, like sometimes I get it. There's gonna be time for you to talk and stuff like that. I like talking, but like when I'm trying to get some stuff out there, please just listen to me. I'm trying not to talk the whole period. I try to do some stuff where we're, you can talk to your friends and whatnot, but like, just come back to me after, if I'm waving my hand, say, come back to me, okay? And I would like to minimize that time from when you're talking to when I'm talking. That would be great. Please stay in your seat again. This is more important this year than ever before because of COVID, okay? We just can't have people just up walking around a lot. I know another teacher asked about group work. How are we going to do group work? If we're going to do group work, how that's going to be. And we have to record, like, if we're doing group work, like who you're sitting next to and all of those things. And so, just please, if you need to sharpen your pencil, here's my pencil sharpener, and it's touchless, right? So you just take your pencil and stick it in there, right? You don't have to do the old crank. Okay, if you need to, throw something away, just raise your hand. We can do that. Okay. On the back, you see back there, there's the Indiana flag, and then that's Bob Dylan, and then that's my shower, and then there's like an eye wash. Oliver, you asked about that the other day, but I want you, if you can you see like what's underneath that shower? There is no drain. Like what in the world? Why wouldn't you put a drain on that? So one time a kid did pull the shower, and it flooded the whole back area because like 50 gallons of water comes out of that like a second. It's like crazy. It's not 50, but it's a lot. And so, and by the way, I probably should pull it at some point. It's not been pulled for about 20 years, and that water's been sitting in that pipe. And so let me just tell you, stinky water, right? Okay, don't pull it unless you're on fire, okay, or if you have like chemicals in your face. But like, there's nothing like too dangerous in this class, right? So just don't. Yeah, it's real. It's gross, man. When the kid, who pulled it? It was Aaron Taylor. Do you know who Aaron Taylor is? You might know Aaron Taylor. He was in a band called the Dead Records. Yeah. All right. So prep room. This is my prep room. Okay. There are going to be times where I might need to go get stuff. Please don't enter this. Usually, Miss Miller and I have been like pretty lax about that. This year, we just can't have anybody in here because again, we'd have to record that and wipe stuff down and all that stuff. Be the room when the bell rings. I think nobody's had any problem with that. That'd be great. And so please be great digital citizens. We've still got the securely thing where I can look at your computer, but like, just be cool. One of my former students said, "This is why we can't have nice things." He said that quote. This was in 2010, and there used to be where the Red Moon Antique Store is downtown? There used to be a pool hall in there. Okay, so there were pool tables up top, and in the basement they put on like concerts. It was kind of a cool place, and like kids hung out there and some adults hung out there too. Well, this kid came in and he goes, "Oh my goodness, did you hear last night somebody got stabbed at the pool hall?" And I was like, "No way." And he's like, "This is why we can't have nice things, right? Someone's gonna get stabbed, right?" So just be good digital citizens. I want, if there's a time where we're doing something and your Chromebook's dead, or you can't, if you got a phone, let use your phone, okay? But just don't be like, use your phone like this, right? You know what I mean? Is it cool? Everybody cool on that? All right, awesome. Okay, again, I'm gonna go through this pretty quickly. I don't want to send anybody in the office. That's my goal. Nobody in the office all year long. That'd be awesome. I mean, it takes a lot. Okay, so just be cool. Let's have fun, right? Let's have fun. We're all here. Yeah. Subs, I love Deb Tobias, right? She is my person. And so I try to get her every time I'm absent. And so if you're treating Deb bad, man, I feel bad for you. There must be something really wrong, because she is so kind and she's awesome, right? So be nice, and like if she's writing your name down, she's also chill. Then you must have really like been bad. Okay, so I don't want to do that. I don't want you to have Friday nights. Okay, bathrooms. Hopefully you have enough time to go, but like maybe you had your morning coffee and all of a sudden you get the gurgles. I get it. I'm okay. Or if you're feeling sick, the lines go this way, okay, but the bathrooms are right there. You have permission from me to go to the bathroom that way, right? You don't have to walk all the way around to go to these two bathrooms. Y'all with me on that? Okay, cool. All right, don't cheat. Please do your homework before class starts. Okay, I am pretty obsessed about, like, I can't have like more than a few emails in my inbox, or it drives me crazy. Same thing with grading. I grade pretty quickly. So like, check your PowerSchool. The only time I do not grade quickly is if you turn in late work. Okay. Once I grade it, it's like in my head, it's like, that's done. I will automatically put a 0 in the grade book if you don't turn it in. That even goes for tests. Okay. I've had parents call me, they're like, my kid wasn't at school. How did he get a 0 on the test? That's my way of reminding you need to make up that test, right? Because if you have a nothing in there in your box, that does not change your grade, right? And you could go like 2 or 3 weeks without taking that test, right? The longer you go, the harder it is for you to get a better score on it. Y'all with me on that? Everybody got that? Okay, so it's an automatic 0 until you turn in. If you're one of those people that turns in a lot of late work, okay, and you're saying, please grade this, 4 weeks after it was due, I'm not going to jump the gun and grade it real quickly. I got other stuff to do, okay, right? I should take the amount of time it took you to turn it in, right, to grade it. So there we go. Again, absence, you get a day for every day you're absent, and then late work will be 30% off. Okay, I put this in here as a rule, but I know life's crazy. Okay, here's your course guidelines or your standards. These are also on the website, the school website. And so if you want to look and see what my power standards are, those are. Okay, any questions about the rules or the guidelines or any of that stuff? Cool. All right, everybody share your Chromebooks right now. Thank you. What time are we at? What time are we at here? 8:52. I think I have enough time. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to read you a quick little story. And then and I do this every year for every class. If you take 3 of my classes, you will have heard this story 3 times. This occurs probably this will be your 5th time maybe hearing this story. Yes. Yeah, sure, man. All right. If you notice at the top of my room here this word seeing. I put that up there a long time ago because this story is important to me, and it's a reminder of why I teach and what I hope that you get out of this class. When I was at Taylor University, a guy read this story to me, so I'm going to read it to you. It's just a little short thing, and then I'm going to tell you why it's important. It comes from a book called Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. So here's the quick little story. When I was 6 or 7 years old, growing up in Pittsburgh, I used to take a precious penny of my own and hide it for someone else to find. It was a curious compulsion. Sadly, I've never been seized by it since. For some reason, I always hid the penny along the same stretch of sidewalk up the street. I would cradle it at the roots of a sycamore, say, or in a hole left by a chipped off piece of sidewalk. Then I would take a piece of chalk and, starting at either end of the block, draw huge arrows leading up to the penny from both directions. After I learned to write, I labeled the arrows "Surprise Ahead" or "Money This Way." I was greatly excited during all this arrow drawing at the thought of the first lucky passerby who would receive in this way, regardless of merit, a free gift from the universe. But I never lurked about. I would go straight home and not give the matter another thought until, some months later, I would be gripped by the impulse to hide another penny. It is still the first week in January, and I've got great plans. I've been thinking about seeing. There are lots of things to see: unwrapped gifts and free surprises. The world is fairly studded and strewn with pennies cast broadside from a generous hand. But, and this is the point, who gets excited by a mere penny? If you follow one arrow, or if you crouch motionless on a bank to watch a tremulous ripple thrill in the water and are rewarded by the sight of a muskrat kit paddling from its den, will you count that sight a chip of copper only and go your rueful way? It is dire poverty indeed when a man is so malnourished and fatigued that he won't stoop to pick up a penny. But if you cultivate a healthy poverty and simplicity so that finding a penny will literally make your day, then, since the world is in fact planted in pennies, you have with your poverty bought a lifetime of days. It is that simple. What you see is what you get. Let me read that last part again. It is dire poverty indeed when a man is so malnourished that he won't stoop to pick up a penny. But if you cultivate a healthy poverty and simplicity so that finding a penny will literally make your day, then, since the world is in fact planted in pennies, you have with your life, you will have with your poverty a lifetime of days. It is that simple. What you see is what you get. Now, when I was 15, you know, some of you are 15. I grew up in Hartford City. I told you that the other day. And my uncle was living in Louisiana, but he bought a house on Tippy Lake, Tippecanoe Lake. Anybody been to Tippy Lake? Tippy? Okay, cool place. I was stoked. I was like, this is going to revolutionize my life, okay? My uncle has a lake house. That means in the summertime, I'm going to go jet skiing. I'm going to go tubing. I'm going to go boating. I'm going to go to the Tippy Dance Hall that used to be there. And I'm going to meet a girl. I'm going to make out with her. Okay. I'm going to swim with ladies. I was like, this is it. This is going to be the best. Like, my uncle getting this is going to change my life. Okay. So my parents one day said, we're going to drive up to your uncle's new lake house. We're going to go. It's going to be awesome. And so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm in. I remember the entire driving up there. It was kind of a gloomy day. I remember kind of like sitting in the back seat, like, when are we going to get there? Just kind of watching the telephone poles like go by, right? Okay. And anyways, we get there. Okay. My uncle wanted us to show his house. At the time, he had 2 boys. He still has 2 boys, but at the time they were like 4 and 3, I think. And I'm like, I don't care about the house. Let's get on the water. And finally, my uncle's like, okay, let's go on a boat ride. Okay. And he lives on the channel, kind of up on this hill. And as you look down from his house, you can see the piers, but it's kind of hard to see like which pier was his. And so we're walking down, and I'm like, we're starting to get closer. And I'm like, where's the jet skis? He's like, oh, we don't have any jet skis. And I was like, what? I was like, where's your speedboat? He's like, oh, we don't have a speedboat. He's like, that's our boat. And it was like a really, really old pontoon boat with like a motor that went about like 35 miles an hour, right? And I was like, what? And he's like, oh yeah. He goes, we could probably tube behind it. you ever tube behind like a fishing boat, right? It's like this. Oh. Okay. I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, no, this can't be possible. But we all get in there. It's my mom, my dad, my uncle, my aunt, his 2 kids, me and my brother. We're on this boat, and you could tell that I was bummed out. He's like, let's go swim, a sandbar. There's maybe some people your age. Okay, so we're kind of tooling around. We go to the sandbar, and right as we start to get out to get ready, my aunt's dropping the anchor in, and my 2 cousins, 4 and 3, drop their swimsuits to their knees and start peeing off the side of the boat. They're crossing streams and they're giggling. And so as soon as they dropped trowel and the anchor went down, my aunt pulled that anchor up. She said, "We gotta get out of here. I know some of these people. We can't get." I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, now I'm gonna be able to swim?" Super depressed, right? So then my uncle knew that I was kind of like interested in nature, and he's like, "Okay," he's like, "Let's go to Grassy Creek. You might like it." At that point, I didn't care. Like all my dreams were dashed, right? So I was just like checked out, it's just like kind of like I was watching those telephone poles. I just kind of watched the piers go by, right? Ugh. Okay, but there was this one pier that was like different than all the other piers, right? It was like kind of at an angle, and on the edge of that pier, I thought there was a statue, but it was a bird called a great blue heron. Have you ever seen these? Some people call them like cranes. They got a long neck. Right? And it was standing on the edge of the pier, okay? Kind of just like looking. And at first I thought, this can't be real. And it was real, right? Then all of a sudden, as I'm looking at this bird, it dives into the water, totally submerging itself. You couldn't see it. I thought, like, dear God, this thing is committing suicide. It's like, this is it, it's over, right? And so it's done. The water goes completely still and glassy. Okay, and then like those slow motion movies, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like a football movie and somebody throws the ball and the guy catches it, right? It's like touchdown, right? Okay, the bird comes up out of the water, okay, and water's like dripping off of it, and there's a fish in its mouth, right? And this fish is like, and the bird, okay, it dove in like this, and I swear it came back up and landed exactly like backwards, okay, in the same spot, tipped its head back, swallowed the fish, okay, and then went right back into this position. I've never seen anything like that in my life, right? And in that moment, okay, I forgot about like no jet skis. I forgot about tubing. I forgot about our stupid pontoon boat. Okay, I forgot about like Tippy Dance Hall. Forgot about making out with girls. I mean, I still wanted all those things, right? I'm not telling you like, oh man, now I love birds and not girls anymore. Okay, like I just forgot about it, right? Okay, that's what seeing is for me, right? And I hope that this year you might find like something like that, right? And it may not be birds, like maybe like all of a sudden, like I'm gonna teach you some birds. Okay, maybe you're like, well, I never knew like birds had names. I thought it was like red bird, black bird, blue bird, tiny bird, brown bird, right? Okay, well, I'm gonna teach you something. Maybe it'd be that. Okay, maybe it's like something that doesn't even like relate to like class. Like maybe it's sports. You're finally like getting into that. Maybe it's like art. Maybe it's like music. I don't know. But I hope you can find that. Right? Find those precious pennies because those little things make life a heck of a lot better. Okay? Right? Okay, cool. My uncle then did finally, after a long time, he never bought any jet skis. I don't know why he never bought jet skis, but he does have a super nice boat. And we did go tubing this summer with my kids. So that's good. But yeah.
Like Saturday, like right before we started school, we went tubing at Morris and Indy.
Oh yeah.
And we like were going around this one corner, and I flew off. My tube like went up and crossed my brother, and then I flew off.
Oh man, did anybody catch that on video?
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
And it was like, and then I hit really hard, and then it wasn't good after that.
Oh man, you didn't break anything though. That's good.
I'm lucky I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm bruised right here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've heard of people breaking stuff. Yeah.
My brother flew off first.
That's nice. I know. I like watching those fail videos when people like bite it. It's like good times. Right, good times. Well, thanks so much for listening today, and I appreciate it. And feel free, anytime you have any questions, email me. Okay, I think the bell's going to ring here in a minute, but I'm going to shut this off. Oh, I do want to show you something real quick.